Today's tutorial is going to be a really quick one. I'm going to show you how to very quickly and easily convert your high frame rate footage to match the footage of your timeline. So if you're shooting a wedding and you have a lot of slow motion footage, this is a really quick and easy way to go through all of your B-roll without having to slow down or change the frame rate of each clip individually, and it'll save you a ton of time. So let's jump into it. I'm going to go to my main screen here. And you can see here I have a ton of clips from a wedding that I shot just a few weeks ago. And what I'm going to do, the old way to do it would be to click on, select all the clips using Shift, bring them into the timeline like this. And my current timeline settings, if I come right here, is 4K at 24 frames per second, which is what I deliver my films in. So that's what I want, right? 4K 24. But the issue is that I have a lot of footage here that is in 60 frames per second. And so it didn't slow down any of the clips automatically. So what I'm going to do, instead of doing this, which is the old way, which is where you would select a clip and do Control R, and then you get speed change. So then you can extend it out like this. If it's 60 frames per second, then extending it to 40% works out to be the correct frame rate. You can see here that it is slowed down correctly to match the 24 frames per second. But doing that on every single clip would take forever. So I can do that. And I'm actually going to hit Control R again to close that. And I'm going to remove them from the timeline. Bring up my media pool. And instead of just selecting them all, bring them onto the timeline, what I'll do is I'll select all of them. And you need to make sure that the one that you select first is indeed different than your timeline frame rate. Because if the first one you select, so let's say that this one right here was 24 frames per second, but the rest were 60, then this won't work. You need to make sure that the first clip that you select when you're selecting all of them is indeed a different frame rate than your timeline. So we're going to right click and we are going to go to Clip Attributes. And in here, we can change all sorts of things. And this is going to change the clip attributes and tell my timeline how to interpret this footage, right? I think that all of these are 60 frames per second, but even if some of them are 120 or even 24, then they'll be either unaffected or matched to the correct frame rate. So I'm going to click on this and then do 23.976, which is my current timeline frame rate. And I can do other things as well. So let's say I had an audio recorder that was only recording to one channel, then I can actually change that. Or if I have different settings like names and different things, I can actually bulk change these, or I can change it to mono or stereo or whatever I need to do. So, but right now we're going about frame rate and hit OK. Now what that did is that interpreted all of my footage so that even in my preview window, it is slowed down. So now when I select all my clips, bring them onto the timeline, now you'll see, and visibly you can see that this has indeed worked because the audio cuts off right here because it doesn't actually stretch the audio to match the clip. So the audio is actually showing that indeed all of these clips were slowed down to the correct frame rate. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, leave them down below. Or if you have a suggestion for the next video that you want me to make, also leave a comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. I plan on making a lot more content. In fact, this Thursday, I have a video planned to do a transitions tutorial. So I'll show you how to make clean, modern transitions. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.